Hello and welcome back to It's What I Do. Right, in this episode we're going to continue with the van service, and what we're going to do on this one is change the fuel filter and the air filter. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, as always, before we start a job we refer to the workshop manual and we go through the process that it tells us to do here. This is the fuel filter assembly, and we have the air filter assembly here somewhere. We can see the pictures of it here. So yeah, we'll read through that and then we'll start with the job. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is change the fuel filter, and this is the fuel filter here. So I've got you mounted on my head mount at the moment, so you can see, but I've also got the other camera here so I can do some close-ups. So, fuel filter, I don't know if you can see there, we've got just here is a drain plug, it's to release the air basically when you're filling it up, and underneath, which you probably can't see, is another one for draining. So what I like to do is try and drain the fuel out of there. It saves making a lot of mess when you're actually taking it out. Then what we've got to do is remove this top piece, remove the cable there, slide it up, disconnect this top casing, this top housing, and take it off, unplug these, and then we should be able to separate the housing, the top from the bottom. So I'll get on and do that, and we'll see how it films. So I'll try and balance the other camera here so that you can see. So I'll try and balance it there, and then hopefully you'll be able to see. So first things first, I'm going to get a little jug. I'm going to crack the top one off, so we've got some air coming into it, and I'll get the little jug underneath and we'll crack that one open as well. And there we go, draining the diesel out. While that drains, what I'll try and do is get the one off the top, which I have to show you once I've got it off. I might need two hands for that. We'll just drain that diesel out of there. It's not much, 200ml. We'll drain that out, leave that over there for a minute, and we'll use both hands to release this. Okay, that's off. What it is, it's a quick release connection, and you have to push both sides of that. So you push in, see the green thing there, there's one on the other side, push in both sides of those and then just lift it off. And what we need to do is get something just to wrap around that to stop any dirt going in, so we don't want to put any dirt into there. Just one of the trusty Kirkland microfibers, and we'll just put that around that, stop any dirt falling in there, and then we'll just tuck that out of the way. There. Now, what we've got down the side here is a retaining clip, which we need to pull out of the way. Just get a little screwdriver in there. just lever that out. Like so, and then it should slide up like so. So now we've got the fuel housing separated. We twist this thing here and that'll allow us to take off the metal cover on the top like so. Now we really don't want to get any dirt into this. Again, we've got another one of these quick release clips here. This is for the fuel after it's been filtered, so we need to take that one off like so, and again we need to take the preheat, because it's got a preheater for the fuel in there, so we need to take that off as well. So let's just stand that there for a second, because I want to get this covered before anything goes in it. Again, we'll tuck that out of the way. And we take this clip out there and disconnect the wire like so, and then we can remove the whole housing. So we've got a star screw on the top. So we'll have a look, see what size that is. Looks about that one. Yep, that's good. We'll undo that. Like so. Take that out. And then we should be able to take that off. It just pops off. There we go. Just pour any more diesel that was in there out. We're not going to reuse that, we're going to get rid of it. So that's emptied any more diesel, and then we pull that out. Oh, that's the rubber. Oh, and there we go. Just give you a close-up of the clips and whatnot while I've got it out. This is the clip that we had to lever back, and the fuel filter itself slides into this housing here. Just show you on the back of the fuel filter housing itself. So we've got these pieces here. If you can see these pieces, yeah. That's what slides into that housing. So yeah, that's all good. Let's put you back there. Oh. Now we'll just dry off this O-ring. We'll check the lid, make sure that's not got any dirt in there. So we don't want any dirt entering the system at all. It's a nice clean fuel filter. You can see the difference. You can definitely tell which is the new one, can't you? So that one then slides into there. Gentle push. And then we've got a new O-ring. Which will go nicely on there. I'm going to use a little bit of lubricant, a little bit of oil. That just helps that seal. And we get the housing back on. We've got a locating lug there. Which will fit into one of those. Now, there are several slots here, so you can fit it in several different positions, depending on how you need to do it. So I'm going to measure it up and look to see how I need to fit that onto there. Of course, it helps if you don't drop it. So that one comes around the side there. So I need to fit that onto that last one there. So we can take that back off. Get that back onto there. And we've got a new rubber for the bolt as well. That comes with the filter. So we'll change that. And once we're located there, we can put that onto there and tighten it down. Like so. Make sure we've got the drain plug tightened. Okay, once that's tightened on, we can position this back. So, first thing we want to do is reconnect our intake, sorry, our outflow, that's outflow. Intake goes on the top here. Plug the heater, preheater back in. And that goes last. So let's keep that covered and put that out of the way. You slide that back into the housing, into the holder, sorry. A little bit fiddly. Actually, what we'll do, we'll put this back on first. That'll make it a little bit easier. So that goes on, and then this ring slides around to hold it, like so. Once that's back in place, like so, we bend our locking tab back in. I don't want it falling out. Like so, and then we put our in feed back on, and you'll hear it click. Okay, so we now undo our bleed screw, and then we pump a hand pump here to prime the filter. Just put a cloth under there because we're going to get a little bit of diesel coming out the top. Oop, there we go. That's about it, that's most of the air out of there. So we tighten that up, and then we'll give it some extra pumps until the little ball goes hard, like that, and that should be okay. Just dry that off. That looks pretty good. So now what we'll do is we'll start the van and let the engine run for a minute to get the fuel through. It might stall. If there's any air that's actually got into the system, it will probably stall, but hopefully there won't be enough to worry. So we'll give that a go. I'm back in a second. Okay, so that took a little bit of spinning over to get it to start. Nothing too drastic. And now we just look, see whether we see any leaks. All nice and secure. And that's the fuel filter. Okay, so fuel filter's done. Next job air filter. So to do that, what we've got to do is we've got to remove the oil filler, just pull that over to one side. Then we've got another 2 or 3 screws to disconnect the intake hose and the wire in there, and we can lift that off and fit a new air filter. So we'll start by taking this off. Like so. That could just sit over there. And we take these ones out. So we've got to get a screwdriver on there. Using my trusty Leatherman again. I do use this a lot. Just loosen that. Pull that loose. Disconnect our wire in there. And that should lift off. Like so. And there we have the air filter. So we prise that out. You see, this one's not actually too bad. I could have probably left this one a bit longer, but as I'm doing a full service, we'll change it. You can see it is a little bit dirty, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So just compare them, make sure they're the same. Just dust out anything in there. Seat that back on there. And then we locate these lugs into these little sockets here. And that's them in. And we just tighten these screws back up. Don't need to be mega tight, just hand tight. So, put our oil filler back into place and tighten those screws down. Like so. Plug our wires back in, put our air hose back on, and retighten that. Okay, that brings us to the end of the standard service videos. Engine oil you change once a year. The fuel filter you change every other year, and you also check the gearbox level every other year. You wouldn't need to normally change the gearbox oil. I've just done that for completeness and show you really how it's done. So what are the benefits of doing it yourself? Well, the cost is the obvious one. Normal service would cost you somewhere in the region of £200 to £300. That's UK pounds, because I'm in the UK. So what does it cost me? Well, let's have a look. Bear with me. Okay, I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but this is the invoice for the parts that I bought. So we've got an air filter that cost me £6.58, a fuel filter £5.68, oil filter £5.10, engine oil £21.56, and the gearbox oil cost me £7.80. So that comes to a total of £51.93, and then we add the VAT onto that, comes to a total of £62.32. So that's what it cost me in parts. So the other benefit is I haven't had to do it all in one go. I've done this over a space of a few weeks, so that's quite a huge benefit. And it isn't that difficult, really isn't, not really. Get yourself a manual, follow what it says in the manual. Sometimes you have to apply a little bit of logic to it, like I did with the gearbox, and removing that cover makes the job a lot easier. But all of it is doable. I've got one final job that I want to video relatively soon, and that's the brakes. You should check your brakes every couple of years or every year. I like to just have a look every year, but the manual actually says do it every 2 years. So that's the last thing that I will be videoing, is the brakes, and that will be a separate topic. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed those videos. I hope they'll be of use to you. They'll sit on my channel forever, so you can refer back to them whenever you like. And I know not everybody will want to watch the videos, but they're there and they're meant to be helpful. So anyhow, that's it for now. I'll catch you later.